Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday the 16th of May and we have seen a quite early release today actually of this, I guess it's a pack from Custom Modding. We have got a Manure Lagoon, we got the Lizard 7700 tanker, the Valmetal Max 10 Lagoon pump, and we got the Valmetal Maxx-Trac Dura-Tech. Yes. Think pumps and hoses, but more complicated, not more complicated. Right, so let me just preface this by saying, if I make a mistake, I apologise. I have been fiddling around with this for ages, and things that I thought should work a certain way don't seem to be. And the way they are working may well be the way they're intended to be working. I'm just going to put that out there now. And like I say, if I make a mistake, I do apologise. But the stuff in this pack is very, very cool. It's something a little bit different as well. And this all starts with the Lagoon, which I'm going to make another big assumption and a sweeping statement to say this potentially will get an update. So the Manure Lagoon is behind us, and it's rather large. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was from the image. It is massive. Let's go aerial. She big. She thick. So yeah, it's... yeah, it's got some size to it if we open the gates here. But, like I say, whether it's intentional or not, I don't know, but it has some quandaries which I'm trying to work my way through. One, we've got an in and out icon here, which don't appear to do anything. I don't know whether they're supposed to be over here, but I can't take out anyway without using this, which, fair enough. Putting in seems to be okay. Also, as I'm going round it, and I've been up to the side of this tank here, I've been round the sides, I've been to the gate, you don't get to a point anywhere where it tells you how much is in it. Now this will hold 5 million litres, which is crazy. You can put it, I say next to cow pens, I mean, this is a kind of one per map type thing. But look at it, I mean the detail is amazing. Cameras and stuff, you know, to stop people. There's nothing worse than someone falling in the slurry lagoon. It's not quite Blue Lagoon, is it? It's a little bit different. But let me just show you the stuff, and then I'll show you what the problem I have encountered. Let's go into our build mode, and we want to go to our silos. And here is our silo, and it's 65 grand. But here's the thing. Now my map, my test map, I've got loads of flat areas specifically put in for placing things so they're nice and flat. You watch this work now. And I keep getting this message, and then that, flattening failed. Even when it gives me an option, is it going to let me do it? Come on. Even if it gives me an option to place it, that's just... Yeah, look, as I get closer to it, it's raised off the ground. It's raised off the ground by a long way as well. So that when you place it, it puts a big ridge all the way around it. So I had to place it twice. I had to place it, when it allowed me to place it, oh, hang on, was it? Yeah, look, 166,000, but it's only 65. I had to place it, and then it wouldn't let me landscape around it. So after that, let's try and find a flat area here. Please work. Right. So, it's come out of there. And it's done that. So that was the gap that it had beneath it. So it's not sitting flat. And that's a fairly flat bit of ground, actually, because it's done that. But doing that, it now won't let me smooth out to the side. And it also won't let me raise the land next to it. So I can't landscape it. Which was an absolute pain in the, you know... You can imagine what sort of pain it was. So then what I did was deleted it like that, which left the ground. Then I had to come in. I said, this can't be right. This can't be what it's intended to do. I came down to here, came to level, did that. Hang on, let's go a little bit smaller. And then what I did was then came all the way around the outside of it. I know I can go a little bit bigger on that. Let's go like that. There we go. And then what I did was went around the entire outside of it, which I think I'm going to have to probably do again. I'll show you part of it just to show you what I had to do, assuming it will do it. Come on. Come on. like I say, I can't imagine this is normal. It just doesn't seem to want to sit flat, and to do that build up, for it to cost then 165 grand rather than 65 grand, but then I've had to delete it, which means I've lost some of the money on that anyway. Plus all the landscaping of doing this now, which to me it automatically has made it prohibitive. So let's come down to here to soften, and then what I did was went around the outsides, softened all the edges up to give myself a kind of plateau, I guess. Once the plateau was done, and then I went back up, went to my silos, came back down again, came to that and went like that. It went clonk, dropped in the gap, no problem at all, and it said, we'll get in a minute, well, pretty close to, where are we? Let's zoom out a bit to make sure I'm in the right place. We're pretty much where it was. There you go. Place. Boom. So then it allowed me to place it, no problem. So that just seems to me to be a lot, you know? Anyway, so that's 16 slots, holds 5 million litres, 48.57 megabytes to download for the Lagoon itself. So gates are open. I'm not sure what these triggers do, but I've backed up to them with various different bits of equipment. Nothing seems to work. So with our gates open, and let me just show you something. So if you've got stuff coming from a cow pen, that's absolutely fine. But you can tip into this. So I've gone for this because it's a bit larger capacity. I've only got 67,000 litres. Now this will do. It will take slurry and digestate, but it will turn your digestate into slurry. So it doesn't matter what you bring, whether it's slurry or digestate, it will turn it all into slurry. So you'll see now when I put this in, technically I should have 67,000 litres in. You see that? So the trigger's coming up, giving me the option to unload into there. So if I unload now, it's unloading into there, and the level is rising. If I come over to here to these triggers, where these two are, I've got nothing. Nothing's coming up for loading, unloading, nothing at all. Now bear in mind that Lagoon, I've already put over 1 million litres of slurry into that. So yeah, I've got nothing coming up. Now, if you watch here, if I back up to this, I get a trigger come up. So I'm going to do it there, right? So if I do that now and unload, as far as I'm aware, that's unloading into the pump. Oh, okay. The whole lot went. Okay. That's unloading into here, which again, we'll come into this in just a moment. Now this has got a cannon on the top, a poo cannon, if you will. So my mind then went, okay, looking at the images on the website, I'm assuming this is for taking out of here, so it pumps out, and you'll see when it unfolds, and then you can collect from it. But with the cannon, I suddenly thought, what's the cannon for then? So then what I did was got another one and put it down there by the field. So I thought, well, maybe it works the other way round. If I bring a tanker to it, does that act like a slurry spreader over the field? It doesn't. Well, as I said, it doesn't. I can't get it to work like that. So I don't think that's what it's for. But again, doesn't hurt to try these things, because you never know, do you? It might do. So yeah, so what you'll find is now, when I unfold all this and I show you it and we'll click on it, that now has just got slurry in it. There's no digestate. So the digestate has gone in, has turned to slurry, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to get this little tanker out the way first. Now what will happen, I'm assuming what that cannon does, and that pump's an odd one because it doesn't actually have a capacity. We'll just stop that there. So I'm going to put some slurry in it while we're here. Let's do that. Turn the engine off. That can be filling up. Yeah, it doesn't actually have a capacity. It says you need to fill the tool, and if you fill it, if I come up next to it, it doesn't say there's a capacity. It says Lagoon pump. Did that come up, Lagoon pump? Yeah, rented by you, but it doesn't show anything. Now I put some digestate into that just now, and when I did this initially over by where I set my stuff up, and I've got another one of those, or multiple ones of those, sort of buy anything, free fill silos, whatever it is you might be using, it just filled and filled and filled and filled, and it was charging me, but there was nothing showing for a capacity, which again I thought was a bit odd. Let's have a look at the equipment then that comes with it. We look to the Lagoon and the potential potential problem with that. I mean, if you're, whatever map you're on, if you've got it and you've just placed it in its place, no problem at all, brilliant. That's absolutely awesome. But just as a heads up, if it doesn't, that might be what you have to do. So, if we come to our slurry equipment and come into here. Here we have the 7700 Manure trailer. The Manure trailer is 38.47 megabytes download, 20 slots, 50,000 litres. These are all by custom modding, if I didn't mention that earlier. All by custom modding. We've got the Max-10 Lagoon pump. That is 80.15 megabytes download, 24 slots, 68,900. And then we've got here, and I thought, oh, okay, that's weird. And I did all the changes on this, and I thought that doesn't make any sense because that doesn't look like the image on the website. That's because there's loads of them. There's 6 of them. All the options are exactly the same on all 6. They're just different capacities. That one's 17,200. That one's 21,500, 23,600, 28,000, 36,300, and then 38,600. But they also have the option for these. I've got one of each of these out. I'm not going to necessarily show you them all. I think I've got one of those attached, but I did get one of each out just to double check them. So we've got the high diffuser. High diffuser, I think they're all 8 slots, 8, 8, 8, 8 and 7 for that. So high diffuser, that will spread to 8.2 meters. Low sprayer, 8.2 meters. Double low sprayer, 12 meters, and then the extended lower sprayer, that will do 16 meters. And then we've got the manure injector, which is more like a cultivator injector type piece of equipment, and I'll show you that in a moment as well. That is 7 slots, and that will do 7 meters. Now, that is affected by options on here, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So let's look at the tanker first. So on this, we have got the option for tyres. We've got Continental HS3, Continental HD3, Continental HA3, then we go into a second wheel type, HS3, HD3, HA3, then back again. We've got power boom transfer system on the moment, nothing. Yes. Now, this is where this is important, because at the moment, this is a tanker. And you can overload, you can fill it up, whatever you want to do. It's a tanker. Now, it doesn't give any information of this either on the website, and it doesn't give any information here. If I go across one more, it says slurry tube. You notice it puts a little slurry tube on there with a splash plate? Take that off, put that on. That now makes it a slurry spreader, but it doesn't tell you how far it spreads. There's no information on the website or here. It doesn't give you any information on spread width. So I mean, I don't know. It looked about, when I gave it a little bit of a test, it looked about 12 meters maybe. I don't know. It's difficult to tell. So if you go for that option, it will make it into a slurry spreader if you want it to be. We've got wheel covers at the front, because they're already there. And if you do front wheel cover, that charges you 1,350 for something that's already there. Okay. Rear wheel cover there, or both wheel covers. Actually, you might as well just go for back, because the front's already there. Why would you go for both? Yeah, just go for back wheel cover. Nothing changed. If I go for both, yep. Again, like I say, maybe that will get a change. Don't know. Odd. Frame colour is the blue bit under there. See the blue bit there? Transfer kit colour, let's change that to something that stands out. Let's go green, there we go, does all of that. Tanker material we can change like that, and then our rim colour and license plate option on there well. So that's the tanker, 50,000 litres, so not too shabby. Then we've got the Lagoon pump. No options on this, it comes just as it is, like that. 290 horsepower required to operate said piece of equipment. Then we move on to these. So I'm going to pick one random. Let's go for this one. Doesn't matter. Like I say, the options are the same on all of them. So we've got Michelin, Trelleborg, Vredestein, and back again. No options within those. We've got power boom transfer system. Yes or no. That doesn't have a spreader bit on it, because that's the back bit will become more relevant in a moment. We've got a flow meter control, which puts a flow meter control on the top up there. Beacon light, yes or no. We've got extension, which puts that bit on there, so if you're filling into it, it's less splash. Nothing worse than a bit of splash. Automatic greasing system. I mean, the level of detail is incredible. Automatic greasing system. Then attachers. Now, this is important. If you put this attacher on, that will attach that injector that we had a look at. We'll have a look at it in a moment. So that bit there will allow you to put that injector on, and it also works with other rear mounted pieces of equipment. I tried it with one of them. Again, I'll show you which one I used. If you take that off, that now will work with all those other attachments. So if you want to use the attachments the high spray, the high spread, low spray, double spray, extended spray, you want it in that configuration. If you want it to use that injector, you want that configuration. Then our main colour does the main tank. Again, pick and choose, it's up to you. Design colour, let's go dark blue, does all that. License plate optional as well. So that's our spreader. I mean, you can just use it as a tanker, I guess, as well. If you don't put any attachments on the back of it, in essence, they become tankers as well. So yeah, like I say, that works with the injector bit on the back. Those work with nothing. So if you have it as it is standard, they will attach, and I'll show you those attaching in just a moment. So that's the four, I say 4 items. I mean, there's 6 tankers, then all those other bits and bobs. So there's a few bits going on in this pack. So let's come out and have a look. I mean, like I say, the level of detail and all this stuff is very, very good. It's custom modding stuff, isn't it? Like I say, the automatic greasing system and stuff on there. Very cool. I'll show you the booms and stuff in just a moment. So that's the double, so that's the extended spreader, just there. And that's got the attachment, attacher for attachments, and I've got one of those just there, which will attach to in just a moment. And then that, I've got the tanker, and that has got the spreader on it, so I'll show you that spreading as well in a moment too. So this is where things get, this is what I think the cannon's for. Because I put some into this already, so you can technically, whilst it does give you the trigger as you saw, I can fill the slurry lagoon up from here. I backed up, it gave me the option to unload, bang, I can unload. But you can also put into this, whilst it doesn't have a capacity. I hope this works now. So when this unfolds now, and I get right down by the liquid, yes, the soup, that cannon should turn on, and whatever was in here should go into the lagoon. Which, yeah, I don't know. It's the only way I could get that cannon to work. So let's jump in here and start it up. So what we're going to do is back this up. I'm going to back right down to the lagoon. It should only do it once I unfold. I've got the whole thing raised up. You'll see some options in a moment. So we can get right down to the... it's not water's edge, is it? There you go, look. See it unloading? Well, no. No. What are we doing? Forwards. Yeah, so that what I put in it is now unloading. So that's the cannon. That's... I think we can move the cannon around, up and down, side to side. So that stuff that was in it is now unloading into the lagoon. But like I said, it doesn't have a capacity. Bottom right, it's not showing anything. But it is putting in. So what I'm going to do now is unfold the whole rig. Like that. Which puts that on the top there, which is very cool. And then we lower the rig down like that, so it kind of sits in the broth. I just thinking of all different words for it. We should also have... No, that does that. That does that. Then L1, R1 and right stick side to side puts... Where are we? There's some legs here. Open crane tool should drop that down and put those in place like that. There we go. So that kind of holds all that like that. That's in there. So we've sort of seen the cannon putting in, and that's the only way I can get that cannon to work. So like I say, L1, R1, right stick side to side. What am I doing? Why is that now not working? Oh, sorry, R1. Right stick side to side, up and down. So you can... But I can't get that to work anywhere else. It won't work. I can't get it to turn on. Yeah, it's a peculiar one. Anywho. Now if I click start filling now, that will tell me how much I've got in here. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Click on that. 1,220,280 litres. If I click side to side on my D-pad, you notice no digestate coming up. So the digestate we put in has turned into slurry. So it is a slurry lagoon. So that's that. Now when it's saying start filling, if I press start, nothing happens. Press it again. No, it's still so nothing has changed as far as that goes. I'm going to leave the engine running on the tractor at the moment. I don't know if I need to, but I will leave it running. So that's now in place. That's unfolded. That has got a little bit of stretch on it. So if I back the tractor any further, that does have a little bit of stretch, does have a little bit of movement. But that's down into there. That's now working as a pump going the other way. And what should happen... Testing as you record, it's always a good thing to do. if I back up to here, it should come up top left, start filling in a second. There we go. So I'm assuming that was what was just inside it. Why are we not? Hang on. Hold to you horses. That might have just been what was left in it. So that's now saying start filling. Start filling. There we go. So that should come from the tank. There we go. Why does that keep stopping? Is it because I moved? Okay. This is very odd. Like I say, it's one of those things, it's like, is it overcomplicated? Do I need to back further in? See the stretch, got a little bit of stretch on there. Start filling. Okay, needed to. Why is it only doing a little bit at a time? But it's now hasn't. It's stopped. It's not giving me the option to. I thought that would just work. It's like I say, start filling. Why is this not working? Now again, there'll be people that have. I don't know if anyone's had early access to this. I'm trying to think. Did you have early access? I'm not sure. And if people have already put their videos up and solved these problems or whatever it might be, when it reaches a point where it's too complicated, you know, like I've said this before, I've been doing mod reviews for a long time, and what should be working now, why is it doing it? When I stopped it, it started. Start filling. That's where I'm taking it from. Start. Nothing happens. That should be filling now, because it's given me the option to do it. Is it because I'm just in the wrong place? And why is the cannon now spraying as well? And if you've got to be so precise with it, your positioning to get this to work, that makes no sense either. So when this is filling, the cannon's firing as well, which means it's going both ways at the same time. Again, that what? Oh, hang on. Right, so this just came down to now I would not have put my position there because we're not actually centered onto the back bit, but now it is working. And look, what is, I don't know what it's doing. Is that still filling? Please to be still filling. So that's filling. While that's filling, that's spraying. Is that just the way the pump works? If it's pumping more through than it can put through there, it puts it out again? I don't know. It's... Oh, she's a weird one. Are we full? No. It stopped again. Now it's filling again. Now it seems to be in a better position. Why did it change? Why has it changed position? Now it's working. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, look, it's filling up from there. I don't know why it's pumping out from the back and from in here as well. But this, I guess, is what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be taking it out of the slurry lagoon, putting it into here. You know what? I think we'll stop with that. I think we've got enough. Right. So what we'll do now, I was going to show you the smaller one first, but you know what? I thought we'll fill this up. And I'll show you the attachment. Oh, that's what I was going to show you as well. The attachments. Slurry tools. I think I put one of those on the back, the Valmetal. So any of these rear attachment tools, these ones won't work because these are a little bit too tight to the vehicle. I say they won't. I mean, I haven't tried one. I'm not going to lie. But looking at the width of that and the width of the tyres, I don't know if they'll attach. Maybe they will, but the other ones will. So your injector, cultivator type things. We back up to that. That should now do that. That all hooks up. unfold our distributor. Again, really nicely made and detailed, nothing wrong with it at all. There we go. So we are cultivating and putting in our manure at the same time. Let's just stop there a second. We do have the option to apply double application. So we do that. Turn it back on again and carry on. We'll go half the speed. Will we go half the speed? No, when are we? No, it carried on normal speed. Fair enough. Again, sweeping statements. You know, you work on what you're used to. Obviously, that will all be different. If you're doing precision farming, it's a different set of rules, but the equipment will still work the same way. You just don't need to have single or double application because your slurry or manure will only go down with a certain amount if you're used in precision farming. But you can still use the equipment and machinery. Right, so that's that. Like I say, I did set that up over there. I can't get it to fill. Obviously, I can't get it to fill. I could get it to fill, but there's no option to get it to spray on its own unless it's in the lagoon. When it's in the lagoon, once you get to a certain point, it kind of automatically puts in. Like I say, I apologise if I'm doing the modder a disservice. I keep going back to the images on the website and looking at them, and this is how it's set up, and it shows images of it like this as well. In the lagoon, it's set up like that. There's not an image showing it spraying slurry out onto a field, but I just thought, you know what, better give it a try. Right, so I'll show you the tanker now as well, because obviously the tanker, I went for the option with the slurry back on it, so you can use it as a spreader as well if you want to. But what we can do with this, we start the engine, we've got the option to open cover, which slides that to one side, opens all the covers up. Again, nice animation, opens all that. And what I loved as well, some of the tankers and stuff, when you fill them up, you don't really get an animation. That fills up, and you can actually see the slurry as it comes up. And you can see the slurry sitting at the top. And then our boom, we get our option for adjustment of our boom. So again, if you want to go for a bit more realism for overloading, if you were overloading, for example, from that tanker over there, because it's got that that special bit, you can put the pipe into that and overload if you want to, or overload into it from this, or whatever you want to do. That's up to you if you're using it as a tanker. Let's close cover. If we go down to the field, because obviously this option now, L1, it says turn on slurry tanker, activate double application rate. If you go for the option that doesn't have that extra splash plate on the back of it, those options don't come up. I've got one up at the start area, and like I say, did I walk around this? I didn't, did I? What I was going to show you was the level of detail. Look at the detail on all the hoses, the writing, the colour, the decals. Alright, it's all just spot on. It really is very, very well made. So let's have a look at this spreading. Turn it on, and there we go. Maybe not 10, was that 10 metres, would you say? 8 maybe? But it's doing the job. It's doing the spreading. Now you might not want to use a lorry across the field unless you've got agricultural tyres or something, because you don't want to get bogged down. You might want to use a dolly with a tractor, that's up to you, but you can use it as a spreader if you want to. Just going over the ridges and bumps as we're going back. And you probably want to follow the ridges, not go across them. That doesn't help either. I'm not making this any easier. I love the mud guards when you stop swinging. Look, still swinging. Very cool. And then we'll move on to one of these. Like I say, I've got all the other attachments out and they just attach. Let's start this up. So I detach it. It puts it back on the pallet like that. So you notice I haven't got the boom on the back of that. It's just flat on the back, and that will attach to all these. They all come on the pallet like that with a rack, so they don't fall over. Even the small one, because sometimes you get modded ones of these, and they're very narrow that way. And when you first get them or you detach them, they have a tendency to fall over. So that's quite handy having that as well. I like that. Back up, attach. Did we have the option for on here? Let's go back to our main vehicle. I didn't go for it. Oh yeah, we did. There we go. So we've got a pipe on this one as well. So again, for our overloading, whatever, it's entirely up to you how you go about that. There we go. Back to there. Unfold this in the back. So this was the extended lighting on this. Wowzers! That's pretty cool off the back. I didn't look at the other one. Where was the beacon? I'm sure I went for a beacon, didn't I? Oh, there we go. That's on there. Did I not go for a beacon on this one? Maybe not. We'll turn this on. You know why we won't turn this one on? It was just a test. It was just to see if you were paying attention. Because it's empty. Because... Right, let's see if we can get this thing to work again. Can we find the sweet spot? Is it too finicky? Is it overcomplicated? I like it. I like the idea. It's the same as the pumps and hoses pack. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome what it does and what it can do. And for the guys that make these mods, and for the guys that, you know, I've either helped with testing, or if you've got a lot of hours on them, the more time you spend with these bits of equipment, the easier it becomes and the more understandable it is. But when it is at a point where you're thinking, it makes no sense. There we go. Look, we're filling, but we're not filling. Oh, there we go. Moved a little bit. No, back a bit. No, come on. Where's our sweet spot? Let's come around a little bit more. No. These should not be this finicky. They really shouldn't. Come on. Keep filling. Don't stop. Is the cannon firing again? The cannon is firing again. But we are filling. That's the main thing. I like the fact there's animation for it. It's showing you, you know, you are actually getting something tangible from it. It's kind of bringing the manure system to console, which is, it's cool. And, you know, in a very, you know, of course, a microcosm of it. Let's stop there. We've got some in now. Yeah, it's doing what it should be doing. Now we can unfold that, and now we turn it on. It should work. Let's pick a bit. Whoa! No, come on. Really? I didn't turn that sharply, and the hill's not that steep. Should that have rolled over like that? Bear with me while I right this piece of equipment. Let's try that again, shall we? Unfold. And we should turn on slower distributor. There we go. We didn't have that option before. There we go. 16 meters. Nice animation. Doing the thing. Fold that back up. And there you have it. That's the set of mods, the pack, the Valmetal Maxx-Trac Dura-Tech, the Valmetal Max 10 Lagoon pump, Lizard 7700 tanker, and the Manure Lagoon. Again, like I say, if I missed anything or I got it wrong, like I say, we got the pump working. The pump out the Lagoon was working. It was just trying to find that perfect sweet spot for it to tip into, and that was with having that sort of that bucket. It's not a cone, is it? But that added on. Without that, it's just a flat bit. I mean, I like it. I like the idea. I like the concept. I like the pump. I like the way it works. I'm not sure about the triggers there. And like walking up to it normally, bottom right, you would get your. I've got all my Yeah, I've got it working. It's bottom right. It'll get information come up on various different things, but it just doesn't tell you how much is in here unless you put the pump in and click on it, and then it tells you how much is in there to actually pump. When you go to the other end, there's a little platform out there. There's not a gate there actually to get in there. Like I said, I like the cameras and stuff on there as well. And as you fill, you can see it filling up and it covering up the different sets of tyres as it goes. The wrinkling on this as well. That level of detail is incredible. It is absolutely brilliant. So I don't want to be I don't want to be a downer on it. Like I say, just potentially there might be a couple of tweaks, or it may get an update. I'm just saying. I hope you found all this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.